to get on and do my 9-week update. I am 9 weeks today, and I figured it was a great time to kind of talk about the whole pregnancy in general, the symptoms I've been feeling, kind of what's been going on with us, and just give y'all a little update. So we did a cute little announcement on the beach with little flip-flops, and it was just so sweet and kind of personal and perfect for the season that our family is in, being here in Corpus temporarily. And that has been both easy and hard for this second pregnancy. Hard in a way because the atmosphere is different, everything's different, the area is different, and I have not been feeling very well. So to be in a whole new area and away from home when you're not feeling good is sometimes kind of hard. And so I've been just trying to be positive and trying to just relax and take naps when Bowen does and take it easy so that I don't stress myself out, and just try to enjoy being somewhere else and forcing myself to relax. So it has been very relaxing, and I'm trying to just take it easy since I have not been feeling well. So the symptoms that I have been feeling, at 6 weeks, I felt absolutely nothing. Nothing had changed. I felt a little bit like I had a cold coming on, but I didn't full on get sick. I just had like cold symptoms, like I was stuffy. I thought maybe it was just really bad allergies. And so for 6 weeks I felt great, which was a good sign already, because with Bowen, right off the bat I was sick. I felt like I had the flu, and on top of that I had very bad nausea right away, and my boobs were really sore and tender and swollen, and I did not have that this time around, so I was like, that's weird. And at 7 weeks, the little bits of nausea started coming on, but it wasn't really bad. It was just if I had an empty stomach, so I just kind of had to snack throughout the day, which was fine. I was not going to complain, because those that knew me when I was pregnant with my son Bowen, I was so sick. I lost almost 20 pounds in the beginning of my pregnancy because I was so sick and I just could not bring myself to eat. I was lucky if I could get a little bit of soup and crackers down. And so at 7 weeks I had a little bit of nausea and lots of fatigue. I was very, very drained, and I couldn't figure out if it was the humidity out here. The air is very thick out here, so I figured, well, maybe it has to do with the thickness of the air. That wasn't helping either when I was running around with Bowen to run errands and whatnot. If you see me looking down, I wrote notes so I wouldn't forget anything. And so I had a little bit of fatigue, but like I said, I would just take naps when Bowen would take naps, and it was fine. And then 8 weeks came along, and the nausea hit like a ton of bricks. I am nauseous, which now I'm 9 weeks. I am nauseous pretty much all day. Nothing sounds good to eat. It's hard for me to even go in the kitchen and think of food. I have very bad food aversions this time around. Pretty much the thought of anything before I eat sounds disgusting and makes me want to gag. Doing the dishes and there's leftover food on the plates and forks and things makes me gag. I almost have to be like chewing on a mint or chewing on gum just to kind of give me like a fresh flavor or a fresh something else, just so I can do the dishes or cook a meal. Water to me makes me nauseous, so I've been just putting some of those flavored packets in my water, which I did with Bowen for the longest time because I was not drinking enough water because it did make me sick. So I have been doing that, and it's been helping a lot. And so it's been pretty tough. The nausea, I've been trying to snack throughout the day to keep, because a lot of it has to do with acid reflux. And so I just need to keep stuff in my stomach so that the acid isn't overworking itself and just starting to cause me to feel sick. As far as throwing up, I have not thrown up yet. I did not one time with Bowen. I dry heaved a lot. Sorry if that's disturbing. I dry heaved a lot with Bowen, and I've had a couple of instances this time around where I thought I was gonna have to run to the restroom, and there was one time where I did, and I thought I was gonna have a panic attack because I felt so sick all of a sudden. But never that I actually throw up. The nausea just kind of lingers there. And with Bowen, it got so bad and I just could not eat. So I ended up taking a prescription. I believe it was Phenergan. I could be wrong, but I think it was Phenergan, and you can take that after you have surgery to keep the nausea away. And so I think I will actually do that again this time around. I'm going to talk to my doctor about it. But I just want to be able to eat and enjoy myself and just feel a little bit normal again. Some more symptoms I've been having have been super greasy face and hair. With Bowen, my face was very dry, so I thought that was kind of interesting, something a little different again. My boobs have not changed at all. They're not tender, they're not swollen, nothing. So that's interesting too. That's something that I didn't have in my pregnancy with my first. And so I've had kind of a gut feeling that this one is a girl. And I'm hoping to find out here in a couple of weeks when I go back to see the doctor. I would like to do the Progenity blood work test, so we will see. I would already be able to do it next week, but since we're here in Corpus, I'm just going to wait until we get back so I can go see him. And so ever since Bowen was 10 months, we were just kind of just whatever happens, happens, but we weren't planning anything, we weren't trying, we weren't, it was just kind of, like I said, just easygoing, whatever happens, happens. And so I had already taken numerous pregnancy tests during that time because my period was so off for those 2 months. And I started to get a little bit worried that my PCOS was back because my cycle was so all over the place. And so there was no really tracking once we decided to get pregnant, because we had talked about as soon as Bowen turned a year, we wanted to try, because we wanted to have the kids close together so that they could be good playmates, and that's just how we wanted it. We wanted to have kids young and close together. And so I was getting a little bit worried that the PCOS was back, because it is very hard to get pregnant. For those that have PCOS, I know you understand. It's a very difficult and very hard to understand disease or disease or diagnosis. It's very complicated. There's nothing, you can't expect anything. Some people, lots of people with PCOS have had kids, and some can't. And some struggle, like they'll have a baby easy the first time and then they won't have one easy the second time. I mean, you just don't know. Like, you just never know. And so I was getting a little bit worried that the PCOS was back, my cycle would be all over the place. And so the next month came around, which was May, and I had finally had a cycle May 30th through June the 4th, and that was during the normal time that I had my cycles. And so I was very excited that I had a period during the regular time, and I figured maybe my body's going to regulate now after being stressed out there for a while. Maybe it just needed some time, and I wasn't going to try to stress out about it. And so then I know a lot of women can feel when they ovulate, and I usually can. I'll get a little bit crampy, and usually I can feel exactly what side I'm ovulating on. And so I ovulated the 15th, and that's when my app said I was going to ovulate as well, and I felt like I had, or right around the 15th. And then what was so weird to me, and I don't know if this was because of implantation or whatever had happened, or I'm not sure, I felt like I ovulated again the 20th, the 22nd, and the 24th. And I mark all of this on my app because I really wanted to know, once we were ready to start trying, where my cycle was going to be. And so I felt like I had ovulated like 3 times that month, 4 times that month, which is so weird, and that has never happened before. I don't know if, I just don't know. It was just weird. So, but right around the 2nd of July, so this was a month after my period had ended, I don't know, like I said, we weren't trying and we weren't not trying, and so my period had come, or was supposed to come. So July 2nd, I would have been already a couple of days late, and I had not started. And so I figured, well, either it's the PCOS and I'm late again, or it's that I'm pregnant. And so I did take a test just for the pure fact of curiosity as to why I was late, because I think every woman that goes through that, why am I late, usually will take a pregnancy test. And that was on July 2nd, and I got a very faint. I showed it to Leighton, and he was like, I don't see anything. And I thought, okay, you know, you're right, there is nothing there. But there was a faint line, so it kind of lingered with me, and I took a picture of it. And so I figured, well, if I am pregnant, you know, if I wait until tonight, it should be darker. And if I wait until tomorrow morning, it should be even darker. So that night I took another test, and it was a little bit darker. And so I figured, okay, like, this is probably really happening. But I wasn't going to say anything until the next day when I took one first thing in the morning. So July 3rd, I took a test, and it was very obvious that I was pregnant. And at that point I showed it to Leighton, and he was like, oh my goodness. But at the same time, we weren't shocked that I was pregnant. I think at that point we just kind of, both of us kind of knew that I was. And of course we are thrilled. We are so thrilled. I'm surprised with how crazy my cycle has been, that it even happened. Kind of blows my mind. But I am due in March, and I mean, I think that's perfect. I can be pregnant during the winter, and with Bowen I was so pregnant during the summer, and it was so hot and I was so swollen, and so it'll be nice to be pregnant during the winter and not have to be so hot, and I can just put on all the layers, and I have lots of maternity skinny jeans, so I am all set. So we are very, very excited about this baby, and I'm excited to find out the gender. My guess is that it's a girl, and Leighton's guess is that it's a boy. He is 100% sure it's another boy, and I will be thrilled either way. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm trying to just hang in there, hang through the symptoms, because this baby is going to be so worth it, and pregnancy in general is just so beautiful, and I want to just soak it up because this might be my last pregnancy. And with my son, I had preeclampsia, and I mean, there's a slight chance that it could happen again with this pregnancy. It's not always guaranteed. If you have it the first time, you'll have it the second time, but there is a higher risk for it. And since I do have the 2 hernias that need to be fixed after or during my C-section, we have discussed possibly tying my tubes at that point, since my pregnancies have been pretty tough. And if I do have preeclampsia again, that will just be, we will just at that point be so content and so thankful that God has blessed us with 2, and we will enjoy them to every little last second, whether it's hard or easy. And we have talked about making that decision final, but we will see as the time goes on. That's just kind of something we wanted to discuss early on, so we were on the same page. So I know that is a long video, but it had been a while since I uploaded, and I just wanted to kind of catch y'all up and give you an update. I probably won't do a weekly update. I feel like that's kind of intense, so I'll probably do it every couple weeks. We will do a gender reveal. My husband, okay, so the last reveal we did with my son Bowen, I ended up accidentally finding out before our reveal party, not because I was trying to, but just by accident. And so Leighton has always been bitter about that. And so he wants to find out the results after we do the Progenity test, and he wants to surprise me. And he won't tell me how he's going to reveal it, and so that's kind of where we're at right now. So I think it'll be fun, and he'll enjoy it. And I'm not one to enjoy surprises. I like to know immediately, so he's gonna have way too much fun with that. So that's all I think I will put in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing another update. Thanks for watching. Bye.